Have you ever wondered why some people seem uneasy around you, even when you've done nothing at all? Why conversations suddenly shift, eyes flicker away, and the air feels heavier the moment you walk in? You sense it, don't you? That strange tension, that subtle change. It's not your imagination, it's your presence. There's something in your energy, something raw and unfiltered that unsettles the world around you. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you carry something most people have lost, the truth of who you are. You don't hide behind small talk. You don't bend to please. You simply exist as you are, and that alone is enough to disturb the fragile masks others wear. People are drawn to you, yet they keep their distance. They feel your strength but mistake it for arrogance. They feel your silence and call it coldness. But deep down, what they really feel is fear. Not of you, but of themselves in your reflection. Because when your energy is pure, it exposes the chaos in others. When you carry peace, it unsettles those who rely on noise. Your presence becomes a mirror they can't escape, a reminder of the truth they keep avoiding. They sense the depth in your eyes and realize how surface level their world has become. They feel your calm and realize how restless they are. They feel your confidence and suddenly taste their own insecurity. That's why they pull away. That's why they whisper. That's why they can't quite meet your gaze. You've probably blamed yourself for it. You've wondered if you were too quiet, too intense, too detached. You've tried softening your edges, dimming your light, blending in. But the truth is, you can't hide energy. You can't fake shallowness. When your soul was built for depth, you weren't meant to move like everyone else. Your energy doesn't follow trends, it bends them. You don't speak just to fill silence. You speak when words matter. You don't chase connection. Your very presence demands it. That's why people feel your aura before they ever know your name. It's not something you control. It's something you radiate. And while others spend their lives trying to be seen, you were born to be felt. But that kind of power comes with a price. It makes you misunderstood. It makes you stand out in a world obsessed with fitting in. It makes people uncomfortable, not because you're wrong, but because you're real. And realness, in a world built on illusion, is the rarest form of rebellion. You might think it's loneliness, but it's not. It's resonance. The world can't meet you where it refuses to go. Most people fear what they can't define. They sense something ancient in you, something that can't be manipulated or controlled. And so they label it. They try to shrink it. But your spirit doesn't shrink. It expands. It bends the atmosphere. It makes people feel seen in ways they didn't ask for. That's what power does. It exposes truth, and truth is never comfortable. So the next time you notice someone withdrawing when you speak your mind or changing their tone when you enter a room, remember this. It's not rejection. It's recognition. They feel your frequency but can't match it. You remind them of everything they're running from. And deep down, part of them envies your calm, your clarity, your strength to stand alone. Because most people never learn that stillness is power. There's nothing for you to fix, nothing for you to tone down. You were not designed to fit comfortably inside other people's insecurities. You were designed to awaken something in them, to shake the illusions they cling to be the quiet storm that stirs truth in their souls. So when your aura makes people uneasy, don't apologize for it. Let them feel it. Let them wonder. Let them shift. Because your energy is not here to please. It's here to transform. And if that scares people, it only means you've already started to awaken what they've tried to keep asleep. You've spent your life wondering why you feel different, why the world seems to move at a frequency that doesn't match yours. You've tried to explain it, to make yourself smaller, softer, easier to understand. But your soul was never meant to be decoded by everyone. You were meant to live at a depth most people fear to explore. You were meant to feel more, to see more, to know more. That's why you feel everything so deeply. It's not a weakness, it's your power trying to wake you up. The truth is, your energy was never meant to fit into this shallow rhythm of noise and distraction. You carry stillness in a world addicted to chaos. You carry truth in a world built on performance. That's why people don't just notice you, they feel you. They feel the gravity in your silence, the conviction in your gaze, the way your energy pulls their masks to the surface. They sense you're not playing their game, and that threatens everything they've built their identity on. You've become a reminder that authenticity still exists, and that scares them. But there's a reason you've been given this kind of presence. It's not to isolate you, it's to awaken you. The tension you feel, the loneliness that follows you, it's not punishment, it's preparation. The universe sharpens those it plans to use. Every time you feel misunderstood, it's not rejection, it's redirection. You're being pulled away from noise and closer to purpose. The people who can't handle your energy aren't meant to stand beside it. They're meant to learn from it, even if they never admit it. You weren't made to chase approval. You were made to create movement. Your aura doesn't follow trends. It bends them. When you walk into a room, the energy shifts because you carry truth, and truth rearranges everything it touches. You don't need to speak for people to listen. Your presence speaks louder than words. And that power terrifies those who depend on external validation to feel alive. They see your calm and mistake it for arrogance. But that calm is the mark of someone who has seen through illusion and chosen peace over performance. You've been walking through life thinking your difference is a flaw, but it's the very proof that you're awake in a sleeping world. You're not cold, you're clear, you're not distant, you're discerning. You're not intimidating, you're simply aware. And awareness changes everything. When you see through the surface, you can no longer be controlled by it. That's what your aura represents: sovereignty, freedom, truth. And that's why people feel uneasy. They sense you can't be manipulated. They can't mold you into what makes them comfortable. You stand as a living contradiction to their illusions, and that makes your presence revolutionary. This is the part where most people shrink. They sense their difference and they trade it for belonging. They dim their fire just to feel accepted. But you, if you're still here listening, you already know that doesn't work. You've tried blending in, and it left you empty. You've tried hiding your light, and it only made the world darker. You've felt the ache of pretending to be less than you are. So now it's time to rise, to remember that your aura isn't a curse, it's a calling. It's the mark of someone meant to shift the collective frequency, not conform to it. Every soul that dares to live in truth will be tested. The more powerful your light, the stronger the resistance. But resistance isn't there to stop you. It's there to reveal your strength. Every uncomfortable encounter, every misunderstanding, every time someone projects their fear onto you, it's all refining you, burning away what's not real so that what remains is unshakable. You are not here to be liked. You are here to awaken. And maybe that's what people feel when they stand near you. Not fear, not intimidation, but awakening. A recognition that something inside them wants to rise too. Your aura doesn't scare them, it calls them higher. And whether they embrace it or run from it, you've already changed them. Because once someone feels truth, they can never unfeel it. So keep walking in your power, keep holding your light. The world will adjust to your energy, or it will fall away from it. Either way, your presence will continue to move through this world like a quiet storm, undeniable, unstoppable, and absolutely necessary. Every soul that carries light must walk through darkness. You felt it, the weight of being different, the ache of knowing more than you can explain. You've questioned why your path feels harder, why people fade away when you finally stand in your truth. But maybe the struggle isn't a punishment. Maybe it's initiation. Every test, every rejection, every silence, it's shaping you into something the world needs, but isn't ready for yet. You are not behind. You are being refined. There comes a point when the universe strips away everything that's false so that only your essence remains. That's why you've lost people who couldn't meet your energy. That's why old desires suddenly feel empty. You're evolving beyond the version of you that the world once recognized. And evolution never feels gentle. It tears you open so you can finally see what's been hiding underneath all along. The pain you're feeling is not breaking you, it's building you. Every ending in your life is clearing space for truth to grow. The world teaches you to chase comfort, but growth demands chaos. You cannot rise while staying safe. You cannot awaken without losing something. And when your aura begins to expand, everything that vibrates lower will resist you. That resistance isn't failure. It's proof that you're shifting frequencies. You can't carry old energy into a new level of consciousness. That's why it hurts. That's why it feels lonely. But loneliness is the birthplace of power. It's where the noise fades and the truth finally speaks. Your aura isn't just light. It's fire. It burns through illusion. It exposes falseness. And fire, by its nature, makes people uncomfortable. But it also illuminates the path for those brave enough to follow. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be felt, to awaken something ancient in those who cross your path. You are the reminder that life is not about blending in. It's about becoming whole. Every time you refuse to shrink, you give others permission to rise. Every time you speak truth when silence would be easier, you shift the energy around you. That's impact. That's legacy. But there's a choice you must make. Will you continue to suppress your power to protect their comfort? Or will you step fully into who you were always meant to be? Because the world doesn't change through noise. It changes through presence. The kind of presence that radiates conviction. The kind that cannot be ignored. And that's what your aura carries. The strength of someone who's no longer asking for permission to exist. The moment you stop needing approval, you become untouchable. The moment you stop explaining your energy, you become magnetic. There's a reason your path feels heavy. It's because you're carrying light in a place that's forgotten what light feels like. You are walking proof that awakening is possible, that truth can still survive in a world built on pretense. You may not realize it, but your energy shifts everything it touches. Every glance, every word, every breath leaves ripples in people's souls. Some will deny it, some will resist it, but they will never forget it. You are not here to convince them. You're here to embody something greater. You are the calm in the storm, the silence that unsettles liars, the mirror that exposes truth. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were meant to remind people of what's real. The more you embrace your light, the stronger your impact becomes. And the stronger you become, the more the world will test your resolve. That's how energy evolves. Through pressure, through fire, through persistence. You cannot expand without shedding. You cannot rise without burning away what holds you down. So let the fire do its work. Let your aura cleanse what no longer aligns. Let it strip away the false layers you've outgrown. You are not losing yourself. You're finding what's left when everything fake falls apart. And when the world looks at you with fear or confusion, don't shrink. Let them feel it. Let them face the reflection you bring. Because your presence is not here to make them comfortable. It's here to wake them up. The universe doesn't choose the loudest voice to create change. It chooses the one who dares to stand in silence and still shake the world. You are that silence. You are that force. And now, it's time to let the world feel it. There comes a moment when you can't go back to who you were. When pretending feels heavier than truth. When silence starts to choke instead of protect. That's when awakening begins, not in light, but in fire. The kind of fire that burns everything false. The kind that forces you to face what you've been avoiding. You start realizing that the pain you've been running from isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. Every disappointment, every betrayal, every sleepless night was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to strip you of everything that wasn't real. And that realization changes everything. Because once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. You can't return to small talk when your soul craves depth. You can't keep fake friendships when your energy recognizes lies. You can't keep playing weak when you've already felt your own power. That's why the old world starts falling apart around you. It's making room for something greater. You were never losing people. You were losing illusions. You were never falling apart. You were breaking open. There's a point where your spirit stops asking for permission and starts demanding alignment. You start moving differently, talking differently, seeing differently. You stop chasing love and start becoming love. You stop trying to fit in and start standing out. The same people who once misunderstood you begin to sense something different, stillness, power, clarity, and they can't explain it, but they can't ignore it either, because you've started walking in your purpose, and purpose has its own gravity. It pulls the right things in and pushes the wrong ones out. That's what your aura does. It attracts truth and exposes everything else. That's why the world reacts the way it does. Your presence reveals what's hiding beneath the surface. You don't even have to speak. Your energy speaks for you. It says, I see through you. It says, I've stopped pretending. And that's terrifying to those still trapped in illusion. But that's not your problem. You didn't come here to make people comfortable. You came here to remind them of who they are. Every soul you meet is either awakened by your presence or triggered by it. Both are signs that your energy is working. But now the question is, what will you do with that power? Will you hide it behind fear, or will you let it roar through you, reshaping everything it touches? Because you are not here just to survive. You are here to lead, to guide, to ignite. The same force that once isolated you was actually carving you into someone unshakable. You were never meant to blend in with the noise. You were meant to rise above it. Every time you felt invisible, the universe was teaching you how to be undeniable. Every time you were silenced, it was preparing you to speak truth that cuts through deception. And now, you can feel it. That pull in your chest. That whisper inside saying, it's time. Time to stop doubting your power. Time to stop apologizing for your energy. Time to stop waiting for permission to shine. The world doesn't need another echo. It needs a voice, a real one. And that's you. The one who feels too much, who sees too deep, who carries too much truth to stay quiet. You are the storm they didn't see coming. You are the calm after the collapse. You are the reminder that light doesn't ask to be seen, it simply reveals. So let them talk, let them misunderstand, let them project their fear onto you. None of it can touch what's real. The only thing that matters now is that you keep walking in truth, even when it shakes the ground beneath you. Because you weren't made for comfort, you were made for impact. Every step you take in alignment sends shockwaves through the universe. Every time you choose honesty over approval, you rewrite the energy around you. And soon, you'll look back and realize you never scared people, you woke them. And that's the most powerful thing a soul can do. You've spent so long trying to understand your place in a world that never seemed to understand you. You've tried to make sense of why your energy feels heavier, deeper, different. But you were never meant to be understood by everyone. You were meant to be remembered. The truth is, people don't forget the ones who make them feel something real. They forget the ones who blend in. And that's why your energy lingers. It doesn't fade with distance, it echoes, it changes things long after you've walked away. Because your presence is not surface level, it's soul deep. And once someone has felt your frequency, they can't go back to pretending. But here's what most people never realize. Carrying that kind of power requires endurance. It demands courage. Because the world will test you the moment you start standing in your truth. It will send distractions, doubts, and people who question your worth. It will make you second-guess your light. But that's how it works. The brighter you shine, the more shadows you reveal. Don't mistake resistance for failure. Resistance means you're expanding. It means you're no longer playing small enough to go unnoticed. You're becoming impossible to ignore. And that's exactly what you were meant to be. This is where the shift happens. When you stop seeking peace from others and start creating it within yourself. When you stop looking for validation and start realizing you are the validation. You are the proof that power doesn't need to shout. It just needs to exist. You don't have to chase recognition when your energy already commands attention. You don't need to prove your worth when your presence speaks louder than words ever could. You've spent enough time doubting, enough time hiding. The world doesn't need a watered-down version of your truth. It needs your full force, unapologetic and awake. You are not here to fit into systems that were never built for you. You are here to rewrite them. Every great change in history started with one person who refused to bow to fear. One person who looked around and said, enough. That's what your energy is, revolutionary. It doesn't need permission to shift reality, it simply does. You don't have to fight for power when you already are power. You just have to remember who you are and stop letting the world convince you otherwise. Every time you doubt yourself, you dim the signal the universe is trying to send through you. You are not separate from it. You are the channel. And if you're feeling the pressure right now, it's because you're being prepared for something larger. Pressure always comes before breakthrough. The universe doesn't give weight to those who can't carry it. You were built for this. Every struggle, every heartbreak, every lonely night. It was never random. It was refinement. You were being sculpted into something unstoppable. And now, it's time to stop resisting and start remembering. The pain was never meant to break you. It was meant to open you, to make room for the power that was always inside you, waiting for you to stop pretending you were ordinary. This is your moment to rise. Not quietly, not halfway, but completely. To stand in the center of your own energy and claim it without fear. Because the world is starving for authenticity. It's begging for people who move with intention, who speak with truth, who live with purpose. That's you. You've already felt the pull inside your chest, the whisper that says, there's more. That's not imagination. That's memory. Your soul remembers who you are, even when your mind forgets. And it will keep calling you until you finally answer. So stop waiting for the right time. Stop waiting for the approval that will never come. The right time is now. The permission you've been waiting for has always been yours to give. Step into your energy like it's armor. Walk like your presence changes rooms, because it does. Speak like your words carry weight, because they do. You are the storm and the stillness, the spark and the flame. You were never meant to follow. You were meant to lead. And once you accept that truth, nothing and no one can stop the power that was born inside you.